Deb and Tony Pickman had been experiencing strange and frightening phenomena in their home. The events were weighing on Tony and threatening the marriage.
There was a noticeable change in Tony's demeanor. We fought a lot more. He was very short-tempered with me. He was almost argumentative in starting issues.
The Pickmans asked Barbara, an acquaintance who claimed to have psychic abilities, for a second consultation.
And I got yanked up by something. I mean, it was so bad I had blisters and marks on my wrists.
Well, I'll try and contact Sally and see if she can give us some answers to what's going on. It's her. There's another entity in this room. A much older and much stronger than our little Sally is, okay? It seems to me that this other older entity is the one that is doing these things. And Sally's the one taking the blame.
She's communicating with Sally because this other female would not interact with her at all.
This is really more beyond my expertise. What I would like to do is contact a very qualified paranormal investigative team who has extraordinary experience in things like this.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's a really good idea.
I don't know. You really want a whole team of people in here? I mean, the whole town.
My first reaction was, no way. We live in a small town. We'd be laughing stock.
All right.
What other option do we have right now? The thing is in our house, and we're not going to be able to get rid of it unless we have a team come in and tell us exactly what it is.
Exactly.
In my mind, if it wasn't a spirit in the house, it could only been one thing, and that was the devil. That just scared me to death.
It's her.
Maybe someone coming in to intervene could help explain what was there, or either help explain it or help get rid of it.
Within days, a team of paranormal investigators arrived. It was led by self-styled medium and paranormal researcher Peter James.
A ghost is the ethereal double of its physical counterpart. We become a ghost depending upon the circumstances as to how we die. If we die untimely, tragically, or violently, then we're rendered a ghost. I prefer not knowing any details of any specific haunting. It was my job to identify the anomalous activity.
Have a little chat here. I need to find out exactly what's been going on. And
He asked if we had a little daughter, about the age 7, because as they pulled up, there was a little girl staring out the upstairs window.
She wasn't doing anything in particular. She's just looking at me with a lot of curiosity, as any other normal-looking child would do.
Bear with me a minute while I get a feel for it here.
The team used an electromagnetic frequency monitor, or EMF. They explained that it would indicate changes in the room's electromagnetic energy. Peter sensed the presence of 2 entities, a child and a woman, whom he felt to be very powerful.
Hello there. What's your name? Sally.
I just had this big, broad smile on my face because that was the second person who had basically backed up the fact that there was a little girl named Sally in our house.
Peter proceeded cautiously. He believed that those who died by violent means may enter the spirit world confused, fearful, angry.
This is their space, and I'm invading their space. And if they dislike it, they'll let you know.
I definitely feel the presence of the female spirit here.
The whole focus had been on the fact that we had this little girl spirit, and now we're having an entity that is more resembling an adult female, and we're, you know, wondering why. Why do we have an adult female in the house?
I feel that female spirit here, definitely. Definitely. But she's trying to repel me. Trying to repel us. She's trying. We are not afraid of you.
What's happening? I don't know.
What?
My back.
Oh my God, Tony, you have huge scratches on your back.
Ow!
Come look at this.
Oh my God. Look at that. Now look, I know you. Look at that.
There's no... Oh my God.
Something's happening. I don't know. Something's going on.
All right, now look, Tony. Look, I know you're nervous.
I was so scared the whole time. He was telling me, you know, don't be afraid. We can't let it know that we're afraid of it.
In any way. All right, now we're going to go down to the baby's room, okay?
In the nursery, the EMF registered a barrage of electromagnetic energy.
So now, see, there are two cribs here. I thought you told me you only had one child.
We do. We got this crib and these toys for Sally. We thought she'd want her own space, make her feel comfortable.
I'm getting something.
Sally? Sally, if that's you, you be nice.
Deb was unfazed, but the same could not be said for Tony.
He was really petrified. He just couldn't move. And of course, I tried to put him at ease, saying not to be nervous, but he was very, very shaken by all this.
The team continued to investigate the house, inside and out. Peter attempted to communicate with what he sensed was the more powerful spirit. finally, a clear vision. Peter claimed he could see images from at least a century earlier. The woman had been a servant to a doctor who had owned the house. She had also been his mistress.
I've done everything I can think of.
They had kept their affair hidden to avoid scandal.
So that's looking much better. Yeah.
Sallie was their 7-year-old daughter. It was a portrait of a secret family.
I became empathic, and I was able to sense how she died.
The little girl had contracted pneumonia.
100 years ago, you didn't have the kind of technology nor the medication that could save a child dying from pneumonia. This is how she died.
Peter believed the forces in the house were strong, but that the Pickmans needn't surrender to them.
Well, what do we do then? I mean, do we get an exorcism? Or
No, not exorcism. Cleansing. And that takes a lot of data gathering, takes a lot of preparation. That's not what you need. You people are in control. You. This is your house, and you set the rules. Now, you've got to let these spirits know that they need to comply with those rules, or they can't stay here.
Okay.
Now, comfortable with that?
Yeah, I mean, I have to be, right?
All right. Yes, you do. You have to be.
After the research team visited, several weeks passed.
Hey, how's work?
Great.
You want some tea?
Sure.
Peter James called today. He wants to do another investigation on our house. I think it's a good idea, Tony.
Hasn't done much good so far, has it?
You know, I just really
Everything
think
in the
that
house, the longer we stayed there, it just seemed everything got heavier.
I don't know how much more of this I can take.
Every time they come, we learn something new about Sally.
What are you always going on about Sally for? I'm sick of worrying about Sally. You act like it's a sweet little ghost, but it's not. It's like a demon or something. Look what it's doing to me. Look at my arms. It's trying to kill me. You don't even care. Sweet little girl, huh?
Tony realized the violent outburst had been in his mind.
Being her husband and the man of the house, I wasn't all the time admitting how scared I was. I didn't want to scare her too much, so I kept a lot to myself.
I think we need to get out of here.
We have to get out, because if we don't get out,
It's gonna be you.
someone's going to get hurt. You know, and I'm scared to death it could be you.
Why would I get hurt?
I keep having these weird daydreams or something, and they always...
Tony shared with Deb the dark thoughts that had been consuming him.
And I keep zoning out.
The inexplicable desire he'd felt to assert his power and hurt her.
Strangle you. I see myself getting all violent. Stop short, just
He made a decision.
strangle you.
He could not let the situation continue.
And I think we need to get out right now.
Okay. I'll start looking at ads tomorrow.